I am Matt Osterberg, Pike County Commissioner. Um, I'm happy to be here today to talk to you and with my other two commissioners about Pike County and where we are, where we've been, and where we're going in the future. Um, Needless to say, 2020 has been a challenging year for the county. We have worked through many of the hurdles that were thrown in front of us due to the COVID virus. We sat and worked very diligently with people like Hailstone and our Human Services Department to make sure that the funding that we were allocated was distributed fairly and equitably to the many businesses in our community. It is our role in the county to see that our businesses continue to strive and when this is all over, be hopefully just as strong as they were going into it. But we will work on that and continue to build on that as more funds come down from the federal government. But during all of this, we have also had to keep our eye on many other balls in the county because at one day this COVID virus will be over. And the challenges we face in other directions are still going to be there. And we're going to continue to work towards those. The other two commissioners are going to speak about some of those challenges and some of the initiatives that we're beginning, some of the initiatives that we have strived towards and have now been recognized as accomplishments in the state. So we're doing good things in Pike County, and we continue to try to do the best we can for the residents and the businesses that are located here. Some of those initiatives are, building out our infrastructure so that we can be prepared for the future. Some of our bridge projects that we're looking to do, where bridges in many areas of our county are in need of desperate repair. And the issues that always faced that was where were we getting the money? But when we put through a number of years ago, the $5 registration fee, that helped us as commissioners determine where we're getting the funding to be able to not just put Band-Aids on these bridges, but to come up with a plan so that they will last generations to come. So there's topics like that. There's topics like the Tick-Borne Disease Task Force, which continues, which is an extremely important topic in our county, Wayne County, and the surrounding areas. We have led the way, along with Wayne County, in the state in recognizing the importance of that endemic, or that's facing our residents and our visitors that come here. Our role is to educate people on that. So there'll be a lot of news coming out about that in the next coming months. We are working towards many other programs in our county when it comes to trails. We continue to work, particularly in this pandemic, of how we bring much needed medical facilities into our county. Some of these are really hard and take a lot of effort, and talking to a lot of different people to see how we can bring more medical facilities to Pike County. While we all our medical needs are served in surrounding counties, our vision is that we can bring much needed ones closer to home to our many residents. That helps our many senior citizens that are here and many others. So we have a lot of things ahead of us. We're still working through this COVID. We should be seeing some more funding come down the road here from the federal government. How that gets distributed, we're not quite clear on yet, but it will be, and we will make sure that we communicate that with all the businesses and all the residents so they understand how we can help them. I can't say enough of how much the residents in this county have stepped up during this COVID, how much our volunteers that are on all of our many boards have continued to work on the other topics, such as the tick-borne disease and the reentry programs and the drug task force. They continue to do it. It's a new world for us, doing everything by Zoom as we are here right now. But I look forward to 2021. I look forward to getting through this COVID. I'm sure everyone that's watching this is looking forward to that. But at the same time, we also look forward to the many important programs that we have in place for the future as we move into 2021 and further on.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Guccini, one of the county commissioners. I want to thank you all for being here. Obviously, this past year of 2020, one of our major concerns, or I guess most major concerns, like everybody, was dealing with the COVID epidemic. We've tried to be proactive in this and take actions that we thought were necessary and appropriate to protect our staff, to do the right thing in the community. Uh, that involved early on in the spring when things got really pretty bad, of trying to do the best we could to have people work from home when they could. Obviously, to take proactive measures within all of our buildings to have them cleaned. We instituted some restricted hours. There's lots of things people can do in terms of services in the county that they can do online. And that's always been the case, and we've tried to increase those capabilities. More recently, again, because of the surge, we've instituted some restricted hours again. So all of those things, and we've tried to make sure that we followed the guidance of the Department of Health and the CDC. And I think we've done a pretty good job on that. And that's taken up a lot of our time, but rightfully so. We need to protect the community and to protect our employees. At the same time, we've tried to make sure that we continue on with the other things that are necessary, just to keep the wheels of government turning and to try to continue with the programs that we've instituted in the past, and to make sure that they continue to the largest extent possible. We were very fortunate. We received the Governor's Award for Local Government Excellence this year for 3 projects that we have. That's the Opioid Task Force, the Tick-Borne Diseases Task Force, and the Reentry Coalition. And I have to say that even though we've received these awards really go to, in many cases, the people who are doing the work on the ground. The Opioid Task Force was the first one in the state that Pike County started. All of the members have been very active. We've had tick studies done throughout the state, throughout the county. The Opioid Task Force continues, and the Reentry Coalition that I'm one of the co-chairs of was something we started a couple years ago, and has really continued to take off. People have remained very active in it, very engaged, and it's a really good initiative. We also received an award from CCAP for best practices at the jail for our model recidivism reduction programs. These are things that have been in place long before we started the Reentry Coalition. And again, to Warden Lowe and his entire staff, their job is impossible, especially in dealing with the COVID epidemic this year. And yet they've continued to have these programs virtually. They've continued to engage the inmates at the jail to try to protect their staff. They've really done a remarkable job. We finalized a strategic housing program this year. There's an executive summary of the report on our website. We're about to hire a full-time housing coordinator, which I think will really be a boon to what we're trying to do to get some affordable housing and to recognize where affordable housing already is in the county. That study and the hiring of the housing coordinator will be paid for by our recording funds that we get. It will not come from general taxpayer dollars, and we're really excited about that initiative. We're also going to work on updating our comprehensive plan, and we recently awarded the feasibility study for the Lackawaxen Trail. I know that study is already done and work is already underway for the Wayne County part of the trail. We're really excited about seeing what we can do to extend that trail from Hawley all the way down to Lackawaxen, which is a really just gorgeous part of the county. So we've continued to try to do the things we need to do in the middle of the pandemic, and I think we've done a pretty good job on that.
Hi, I'm Ron Smallsley, Pike County Commissioner, and I want to start by expressing my concern and my compassion for everybody who has suffered during 2020 through this pandemic, through illnesses and even loss of life. And I'd be remiss if I didn't begin by expressing that concern from everyone here in Pike County. With that, I want to offer a message of hope, a hope that things will be better in 2021 as we begin to meet the challenges and have met the challenges, both at the county offices and with every resident of Pike County and every visitor of Pike County. We have come together in a way that I think we can all be proud of, and in a way that we have recognized the severe impact that this has had, but continue to go forward. We've learned a lot during 2020. And one of the things we learned is not having a hospital in Pike County has somewhat worked to our advantage in some ways, in that all of our neighboring hospitals stepped up to help us. So we didn't have just one hospital to help us. We had all of the neighboring hospitals coming together as a community of hospitals to help us. Not that that's a perfect situation, but it has helped us understand how these services are available to us. As we move forward, I think it's important as a county that we look into technology and ways to better communicate to our residents of Pike County. And in that note, we will be launching a new website in 2021, and we hope that that website is a portal to all of the services available to Pike County residents and Pike County visitors, so that when you come into Pike County, you don't necessarily physically have to visit our offices, but you can go to a portal and a place online where you can get the services that everyone needs when they come into Pike County or when they live in Pike County. Lastly, I think it's important that we recognize that we've learned so much during 2020 that we can overcome every obstacle, and we can make this a better place for people to live and to visit. And I think people will recognize that Pike County followed the rules that were set in front of us and followed the guidelines, and we will make it through this. And again, I think that we'll be a stronger county because we've gone through this than we were before. So thank you, and we wish you all the best 2021.
Well, thank you everyone for allowing us this time to speak to you about these very important topics that are facing all of us. We look forward to the year ahead, as I've said, and with that, I'll say thanks again, and hope you all have a happy 2021, and we look forward to seeing you. If there are any questions you have about things we brought up here, please feel free to contact us at the county offices. We look forward to those conversations. Thank you.
Good afternoon. It's Joe Adams, Wayne County Commissioner. We're here to address some items that happened last year and things that are happening in the future. My two items are SEI Waymart and the CARES funding, which Joss will talk a little bit about the nonprofit and the broadband piece of that. So CARES funding, we had 140 companies apply for federal CARES grant funding. We dished out $2.8 million to those 140 businesses. We did a supplemental for the restaurants who were shut down in December at the end of the year. But bottom line is we were able to help 140 businesses in our community survive the economic downturns through the CARES funding grant due to COVID. That's one item. The second item is SEI Waymart. We're extremely excited that we will now have a regional approach, hopefully very soon to be started, for an addiction recovery center that will create roughly 60 jobs, provide some services in our area that are needed desperately, and will solidify the continued operation of SEI Waymart as an ongoing concern in the corrections area for its 1,000 jobs. We did receive an ARC grant, a power grant for $1,500,000. A RACP grant, thank you to Lisa Baker, Jonathan Fritz, and Mike Pfeiffer from the state for that project, as well as a Federal Department of Labor grant, Recovery to Work grant, that was done through the Wayne Pike Workforce Alliance and Lucianne Verling. So, and that was $327,000. So roughly $2,827,000 of grant monies for this regional addiction recovery center with its jobs and the solidification of the continuation of SEI Waymart into the future. So thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Joe. And hello, everybody in our business community. What a year. Congratulations to our winners and to all of you who have gone through an incredible year, and thank you for that. Another part of our federal CARES funding went to nonprofits in our community, over 40 of them. They're a vital part of our community. There's a lot of employees, and they do a wonderful job here in our community, so that was important too. And again, we granted over 40 nonprofit organizations money from the federal CARES money. They were unable to have their in-person live events throughout COVID, but the need is still there and they have persevered. I want to talk about the broadband spending a little bit because we committed nearly $1 million to improve broadband services for Wayne County. It is vital to our economic development. It's vital to the good people of Wayne County, to our educators and to our students. We had a lot of great projects. The CARES money was a little bit restricted. We had a tight deadline of December 30th. But Wayne Libraries has about 60 hotspots available for loan now throughout the county. Wayne Highlands School District was able to add Wi-Fi outdoor services in Honesdale, in Damascus, in Preston. Adams Cable expanded their coverage to over 100 homes, as did Laurel Highlands. And Icon Technologies, with their wireless satellite services, improved service in Wayne County for over 20,000 residents, over a 400 square mile radius. So we were really proud of that achievement. We worked with our local internet service providers, and we're really happy to see some actual results.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Jocelyn. I just want to say that I'm blessed to work with two other people in this office who genuinely care about the people of Wayne County. They genuinely care about the businesses of Wayne County, and that's a blessing in itself. Last year at the chamber meeting, when I talked about fighting the fox, it was kind of a comical story, but nobody knew the fox that we'd be fighting going forward at the time. We all ran into a COVID situation. It was a pandemic that really derailed and lost continuity in so many different directions. But I got to tell you that because we care, because we work together, because there's communication, because there's collaboration, because we have this effort in place called Wayne Tomorrow, we've been able to have a continuum of activity that I think really did work to everyone's advantage. I want to just take a minute to thank the winners of the Chamber Awards. I think we have some great people in our community. It must be a real challenge for the Chamber to come up with who's going to win those awards. But so many people through this last year have worked together. So many accomplishments have been made, and it's been made because people care. So I want to say that I'll end where I started. So many good commissioners of this county for years. I want to take a minute to just give a shout out to the family and friends of Mark Graziadillo, who passed away. What an unfortunate incident. But we still have people in this community who will work for the betterment of the future. There was a trend set years ago by commissioners who cared, commissioners who listen, commissioners who don't just look at politics, but they look at projects. They look at common ground. They look at things that we can accomplish going forward. I think those are the things that we look at in Wayne Tomorrow. Those are the things that the people in the chamber are trying to push forward, and they have our ear, and we will work together, and we will get through this. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for the time that you've given the commissioners, and I look forward to meeting with you in person going forward.